Joining me on the program now is a man that I look up to, a man that when I need a kick in the ass, I just open up my Instagram and I just look at Derek Moneyberg, a man that is an expert networker and a builder of wealth and a leader of humans. Derek Moneyberg, welcome back to the show. How are you, my friend?
Doing very well. I hope to live up to half of what you just said there, but they're very thoughtful.
Well, I know that you will. I've been good. We've been grinding out here in Arizona. You know, it is election season, and I'm going to get your thoughts on politics in a moment. But let's start with this. I love your no bullshit, no nonsense approach. And you've kind of, in The Sun, we all know the newspaper, The Sun, they pinned you as some sort of a controversial comment. You said, poor people only have themselves to blame as it's a lifestyle choice. Defend that quote, sir.
I don't have to defend it. Reason defends itself pretty well to other reasonable people. But, I grew up poor and I tried it. It just wasn't for me. I just thought there were better opportunities out there. And, Charlie Munger, the recently deceased, shout out to Charlie Munger, was Warren Buffett's business partner. They made a couple dollars together. And Charlie always said the best way to get what you want in life is to deserve it. And I heard that early on, and that made a lot of sense to me, that how would it be that the world's best resources would be allocated to a lot of undeserved people? So I just thought, what could I do to deserve more? What could I do to earn more? And I do think it's a lifestyle choice. Plenty of people that I grew up with decided to stay poor, and I do think it's a decision. You vote with your behavior every day what type of results you're going to have in life.
I love that you vote with your behavior. A lot of people in our culture, Derek, they use this idea that money doesn't bring happiness, right? You hear that all the time. You can't buy happiness, but money does bring travel. Money does bring financial security. Money does bring a beautiful future. The way our society is set up, we need cash in order to feel secure, in order to live a prosperous life, in order to protect yourself and your family. What do you say to those out there that's like, this is just some rich guy out there in Vegas with hundreds of thousands of followers and millions of dollars. I don't buy his bullshit. Can money bring happiness?
Absolutely. Not only that, there's a study some years ago that even a $1 million net worth, which is not a lot of money today, especially under Biden's inflation, even a $1 million net worth, which is, that's like a nice parking spot in Hong Kong. It doesn't buy what it used to. It adds 11 years to your life expectancy. $1 million allows you to live 11 extra years. And this idea that money doesn't buy happiness, well, it does buy safety. It does buy security. It does buy high quality foods. It does buy high quality healthcare. It does buy braces for your daughter so she don't have to go to school with a snaggletooth and be made fun of and, marry a lesser man than would have been available to her. So, I think money does buy happiness. And, for those that don't understand that, I'm sorry that, perhaps they have single digit IQ. Perhaps they were birthed from a parent's ass, mother, father, who knows? But, money does buy happiness. Money does buy happiness. It gives you a lot of freedom to do the things that you want to do in life and have a lot more safety, security while you do so.
I think one of the reasons that this show has caught fire is because I try to conduct these interviews with top performers across the world with the audience in mind. And I can hear my audience right now. They're saying, but Derek Moneyberg, but Billy Harfosh, you need money to make money. In other words, I need a lump sum to invest so I can become the next Derek Moneyberg. I need cash to invest in companies, the stock market, bonds, whatever it might be, crypto, in order to make money. So just to push back a little bit, somebody that doesn't have a large bank account right now, somebody that doesn't have money to invest in the markets right now, and they're working a 9-to-5 job and they're just sneaking by, they're just paying the bills. What's that thing, Derek? I think most Americans can't even afford a $400 emergency. What would you say to those people? Like, what do they need to know? What's the one thing that's holding that guy back from building wealth?
Well, a lot of those people, they may not like intelligent people and hardworking people won't be offended by what I'm going to say. And those that are offended perhaps should look at a mirror. But, there's 168 hours in the week. And you know who gets 168 hours in their week? Everybody. Smart people, dumb people, rich people, poor people, everybody gets the same 168 hours. And the people that allocate their resources intelligently, and your most valuable resource is your time, the people that use their time the most intelligently are going to be more resourceful in the future. They're going to have, better opportunities, and they're going to have the opportunity to invest because they're going to be industrious. They're not working 40 hours. Rich people don't work 40 hours. So if you want to work 40 hours, let me say it differently. If you want to work, 18 hours and, pretend that you worked for 40 and get paid for 40, well, don't be surprised when you get laid off in the future. Don't be surprised when AI replaces you. Don't be surprised when you're, voting Democrat and hoping for a welfare program to support your, undeserved lifestyle. So I don't think that should be shocking to anyone. It shouldn't be controversial. It's just reality. So, but people that are industrious, they work 100 hours a week for a period of time. There's nothing a young man should be doing in your 20s and 30s except working. There's nothing else you should be doing except earning money. So to your point, when you're older, you have, a good nest egg, you have real investments, and you don't have to do anything you don't want to do if you did the right things, through your teens, 20s, 30s. But nothing great comes easy. Nothing great is free. And it's, shockingly stupid to me that so many people think that, oh, everything's free. A politician offered me free. You should never prefer free over valuable. You should never prefer free over valuable. I always want, what is the best value? And oftentimes the best value, the best things in life are expensive, but they're worth working for.
Speaking right now to Derek Moneyberg. He's a wealth coach. He's an investor. He's an entrepreneur. He's one badass human. And as you can hear, he's a straight shooter, which is why he's on the show. We stand up for freedom of speech on the show, Derek. So I am so blessed to weekly interview the top politicians in this country, some of the hottest celebrities, the top performers, the most rich and wealthy people in the world. And what I've noticed in the past 7 years, Derek, is I start seeing these patterns. Because I like to ask them on camera and off camera, like, what are some traits? What are some things that you do that you attribute to your success? And one of them is do a personal self-audit on who you're hanging out with. That means a self-audit on your friends and, yeah, dare I say, family. You, more than anybody in my orbit, more than anybody that I know, you surround yourself with the most incredible men and women in this country, in this world. You're there with Hoyce Gracie and Gilbert Burns and all of these amazing, amazing people in the fighting world, in the financial world. So it's a two-part question. Number one, when did you make that shift in your mind? Like, hey, I want to be a baller. I need to surround myself with ballers. And number two, how did you make all these connections?
I think I might have heard a rap song in the 90s or something and thought a baller lifestyle was appealing. But I also went to business school and collected a few diplomas that are sitting behind me here for, 3 college degrees later. Yeah, I mean, look, you're going to spend your time with somebody. I was just having this conversation last night. I was in the training room till a bit after midnight with Gordon Ryan and Gilbert Burns. We were grappling together. And we were having a conversation of, my boxing coach, Paulie Malignaggi. He was a 5-time world champion. And, Paulie used to make these comments when we trained together. All the time he'd say that, I learned this from Floyd Mayweather, or Shane Mosley taught me this, Lennox Lewis taught me that. And, it occurred to me that the things that he was saying and the things that he was teaching me, those are passed down from a lineage of champions. It's from one champion to another champion to the next generation of champion. And it is the best knowledge available in that space. And if you think about the value of a mentor, you have to think of that, Socrates was the mentor of Plato, and Plato was the mentor of Aristotle, and Aristotle was the mentor of Alexander the Great, who went on to conquer the whole damn known world and more land than was known to be in existence at that time. So, the opposite of that, if you're learning from champions who learn from champions who learn from champions, that's a best practice. But what does another person do is, they go to the local, they get financial advice from the local nobody, just some guy. They get, maybe they're into martial arts. They go to the local gym. You go to Bobo's gym or Bobo's School of Finance, you're going to have Bobo type results. And, Bobo's a clown, but Bobo is not a top performer. So I wanted to be around the best performers in the world. And, I was willing to put in the work to earn my space there. I don't take days off. There's no day is sacred, not a holiday, not my birthday, not my girl's birthday. No day is sacred from work. I work every day of the year. I like it. I like being productive, and it's not for everybody, but if you want to do average people things, then don't be upset when you have average people results. If you want to have exceptional results, you're going to have to do some exceptional things. And I find that much easier to do when I learn from and associate with exceptional people.
And the one thing I would add, Derek, that I've learned from somebody like you is to add value. And this is something that you do. Every time someone asks me, so how do I find these people? How do I find a mentor? How do I find a lady or a guy that's going to help me financially or help me physically or help my health or be a top performer? I want to be in those rooms, man. I want that text message thread. I always tell them the same thing. I said, well, what value are you bringing to the table? Mm-hmm. You can't just send out a cold email or a cold DM on Instagram. What can you do for them? And I think that people on your level understand that, and they understand the give and take. A little bit, behind the scenes here, I've interviewed you in the past, and we've kept in touch. And every time I interact with you, it's like you're giving me more than I'm giving you. And it just warms my heart. And I said, that's why. That's why he's so successful. That's why he has all these incredible performers that surround him on a daily basis, because he understands give and take. It's very important, and it's a very nuanced point that I think a lot of my audience might not understand.
If you want high quality people to spend time with you, you have to be their best option. So I think it's important to build your own value and make sure that I guess a very simplified version that I think of in my head is like, the more I could help other people solve their problems, the easier it is for them to do something for me when I ask on occasion. And I never call and ask for somebody to, hey, could you do me a favor? You never hear me do that. Hey, could you do me a favor? If I ask somebody to do something, I'm always very clear of, what I might be able to help them with, or I'm happy to ask them, what could I help you with that would make it easy for you to help me with this little thing, So I think it's very important that you have to build your own value first. A very, very brief aside is I met Jack Welch once upon a time. He was the CEO of General Electric, and had a small group conversation with him. And, Jack made a comment. This is one of the most respected CEOs in the history of our country. Jack made a comment before he passed away that he says, the problem with these millennial kids, they want to give, but they haven't fucking done anything yet. And he said, you got to do something first before you got anything to give. He said, that's like I show up with the horse and a wagon. And I show up in front of the people, and I stand in the back of the wagon. I say, it's all for you. It's all for you. But there's nothing in the wagon. It's just empty. And, that it made the point from, a very intelligent and successful person that, if you haven't done anything yet, it's hard to have anything valuable to help others with. And it probably wouldn't be in their best interest to make you a priority in their life either,
That's
so
beautiful.
I think it's very
beautiful.
important to, be, whether you're an altruistic or a practical person, either way, or both perhaps, it's in your own interest to be mindful to help others solve their problems, and don't ask for more than you're able to do for others.
It's wonderful advice. So boys and girls out there, fill your wagon, from Derek Moneyberg and Jack Welch. All right. So there's a certain presidential candidate that I see on your shirt there, Donald J. Trump. So the stock market recently, again, hit an all-time high. A lot of the wealthy out there are doing just fine, right? Mark Cuban's fine. Elon Musk is fine. But a lot of the middle class is hurting. You referenced inflation. You referenced the high prices. Things are getting out of control. And just because the top 1% sees all of these returns, the rest of us are having a struggle, Derek, and the rest of us think that the economy is not doing well. Why have you put your name, your brand, and on my show today on film, you have Donald Trump on your shirt, behind the former president?
Oh, yeah, I met Trump 2009, 2010, and he's a pretty nice guy, by the way. He's been successful. Everybody liked Trump before he got into politics. And I don't love every single thing that he does. But, I like him in general. I respect him in general. He's very, he's been a very persistent person. If you can't admire his persistence, given all the obstacles people have tried to put in his way, then, I think you probably haven't been paying attention. So I think he's a good man in general. And regarding the value conversation we were just having, I was just, I don't know, in my late 20s, I saw the guy in New York in a random place, and he took 90 seconds to have a little conversation with me about real estate when I was a young real estate investor. And I always thought, I remembered that, I've met his daughter. Don Jr. looks at my Instagram once in a while. They're nice people. So, shout out to the Trump family. I wish them well. I wish them great success. And I don't think there's another viable politician that possibly cares more about our country or the future of the country than he does. So, the alternative is so stark and bleak that inflation can be so high under more continuance of a communist regime that it'd be very bad. It'd be very bad. People don't understand how bad inflation can be.
You're in a swing state, Nevada. I'm in a swing state, Arizona. Let's get you one final prediction here. We're a matter of days away. Does Donald Trump win?
Well, people are betting on it. So if they don't cheat as excessively as they did last time, then in my opinion, yes, he should win. Depends how much cheating can happen. So I think the people like Trump, I know I'm in an echo chamber of other people that are productive and industrious and like to keep what they earn. So I understand that, but I don't see a lot of people out there with great arguments for the alternative. So I think he wins. Statistics say so. Depends how much cheating happens, but we better hope he wins for the future of our country.
Derek Moneyberg, I got to tell you, I really look up to you. I value our friendship, and thank you for being back on the show. I hope to have you on whoever wins, Kamala or Trump, post-election, so we can kind of see what the markets do and see how people are able to invest and build wealth under whoever the heck the new president's going to be. I want to give you an opportunity. A lot of people, you probably opened a lot of eyes today. You probably pissed off some people, and you probably fired up some people. If somebody is watching and they say, I need to know more about Derek Moneyberg, beyond just the Instagram, I want to get involved with him. I want to have a coach. I want to understand what his mindset is, his programs. Where would they go and what can they expect?
Instagram's actually a great place. So of course I have a website, moneyberg.com, but Instagram is a great place so they could get a little flavor for what we do. And, I teach a course in entrepreneurship. I teach a course about real estate. I teach a course about global markets, primarily focused on the stock market. Those are the three areas that, wealthy people made their money in life. There's not really a fourth area. If you understand those three things, regardless of who the president is, if an economy exists, you're going to be able to make money in that economy. If the market's going up, you can make money. When the market's going down, you can make more money. So if you're interested in making money, if you're interested in more of a freedom lifestyle, and you're willing to do the hard work, it's not easy. If you're willing to do the hard work to learn how to do that, I'd be happy to help someone who's happy to help themselves. You can find me on Instagram. Just look up Derek Moneyberg.
All right, we'll tag everything below. Derek, again, thank you so much for your kindness and your talents. We'll be watching. My name is Billy Harfosh, broadcasting from Dave Pratt's Star Worldwide Networks in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. Derek, we hope to have you out here to Arizona very soon. I'd like to do this interview in person, maybe after the election sometime. That is Mr. Derek Moneyberg, one of the best wealth investors, movers, shakers in our country. Thanks, Derek. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.